A very warm good evening to our viewers. Welcome to your Monday edition of the Evening Review Show. I'm your host, Matthias Aufiku. Well, last week, the Secretary General of the National Unity Democratic Organization, Nudo, dropped a bombshell when he announced that he would not stand. He will not continue in the race for presidency at the party's Congress slated for 12 July. We have him in studio tonight. Honorable Joseph Kauandenge, good evening and welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
No, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, let me just throw the kid among the pigeons already. Why are you dropping out of the race just less than 2 months before the big day?
Well, borrowing perhaps from where I'm coming from as a dancer, right? A singer. They say a good dancer knows when to exit the dancing floor.
Yes.
That now it's enough. Now I must get off the stage before you know what. So it's really not something that people think it's something that just I woke up and the next day I said, I'm not going to run again. It's actually something that I have been coming up with for the past 3 months, trying to see whether is it worth it really to continue. Is it not worth it? And then I realized that it's not worth it. Yes.
Yeah. I remember in an earlier interview that you and I had, you indicated that you see yourself as only one who can really turn around the fortunes of the party. This is the party you claim to love, so who else will turn around these fortunes?
No, the reason is that if we had a contest, right, of ideas and say everyone that is running must come on the table and put your agenda on the table. And based on what you are proposing or your manifesto, your delegates will vote based on who is the best or who is providing the best alternative to the current situation in which the party is finding itself. I could have gone all the way because I want to be beaten or I want to win based on merits. But unfortunately, that is not what is happening within our party. And unfortunately, our party is like none other, as I usually say. It has a strong influence of traditional authorities. They have a say in how the affairs of the party should or should not go. Sometimes we put the party constitution aside because as traditional chief, they will come in and have their own view as well, right? Now, the current situation in the party is so toxic, like to the extent that people are not going to look for Haufiku or Hausiku as Hausiku or as Matthias. They would rather look as to between the two factions, which one are you coming from? Which one are you supporting? Right? And based on that, that's how they want to vote at Congress. And that is really against my principles as a person. Yes.
But is that not the nature of politics? I mean, the influence of the Ovaherero Traditional Authority within the affairs of Nudo has always been an open secret. So what is different now? You've been the Secretary General. You know how things work.
No, what is different in this case is that all these years, and I have no qualms with our traditional chiefs. They have their place within the party. It has been like that. However, all these years, they will exert influence, but as a single entity, right? OTA. Now it is divided. Now we have two factions within the same OTA that are fighting one another with two different distinct paramount chiefs. And that's where the problem currently is now. Yes.
So how does these factions, how do they affect the inner workings of the party?
Say, for instance, I run, right? And I become the president of the party. My other brother, being it Kandorodu or Berirukoro, win as a Secretary General. The economy and the problem then will be that, say, for instance, I as a president support this faction and the SG support this faction within a traditional authority. Now we are called to lead the party now as leaders. Unfortunately, the SG will have this group or this faction behind him that will want certain things to be done in a certain way. And I, as president, will have this faction that is there that also want things to be done in a different way. So we will have a coalition here between the president and the SG of the party.
Yeah.
Yes, and I really don't want to get to that stage as a person. I would rather say, if that is the case, then it's better for me to pull out. And you guys that have the stomach for those things can go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. There's so many variations of the word toxic when it comes to Nudo. Your president speaks of toxicity as far as masculinity is concerned. You speak of toxicity as far as traditional affairs is concerned. What did you two do as a team during the past few years that you've led the party to rid toxicity within the party?
It's difficult too. We have tried. It was difficult. For the mere fact that did we really lead Nudo for the past 5 years? I don't think so.
You should tell us.
No, I don't think we did lead in a true sense of the word. Yes, we had the positions. We won at Congress. But after we won at Congress, we had a team that was defeated at Congress that did everything within the party to destabilize it as well, from within. So you cannot tell that we were leading.
Things like what?
Things like urging their supporters not to vote for the party during the 2019 election. Things like blocking and trying to block everything that the leadership will come up with as proposal to advance a certain agenda that will benefit the party. Things like that.
Yeah.
So where did we lead? We did not lead. And then unfortunately came the issue of the president deputy ministerial position. That one again became another hot topic where friends, colleagues, comrades that were together were not on speaking terms again with one another. So for the past 5 years, really, we did not have a chance to implement anything worthwhile without opposition. We tried here and there. Of course, we managed some few of them.
Yeah.
In terms of even now, when people are asking us what did we do with finances of the party and whatnot and whatnot. But the reports are there for everybody to access and see what did we do with the party funds.
Yeah.
Yes.
The issue of the deputy ministerial position brought so much divide within the party. It makes one wonder, was this a decision taken by the party to say, our president, you can accept this decision? How was this decision made? Maybe you can just, for the benefit of those of us who were not within the inner circles of the party, how did the party come to the conclusion to say, now the president can accept this position?
Well, I think the position of the president to take to accept the deputy ministerial position was not really the issue, I think, to my understanding. It was more of an issue of egotism, of why did you not consult me before you took it?
Was it not the right thing to do?
Well, from the side of the leadership at the time, we thought it was the right thing to do. Collectively, including me myself, we thought, okay, why? What is wrong with that? So we must take it. We went to the traditional chiefs. We had meetings after that, countless meetings, until it was agreed that, okay, the position is here. Maybe perhaps the process that was followed by the leadership was not consultative enough, but the position is here, let's accept it. And we thought, that's it. But it just kept on coming up and coming up and coming up. Yes.
So were there some of those who initially agreed for this move who went to make a U-turn?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what was their excuse?
Again, I really think it was more of egotism and the fact perhaps that she is not far away from the fact that she is saying our setup in the Nudo party is we are more conservative, right? The issue of her being a woman also, of course, did play a role. And one could not wish that away. Because there were those that were saying, we give the party to a woman, now look where we are. Yes. But in all honesty, really, I don't think the issue of the deputy ministerial position was so significant that it has to reach the point where it reached at that point in time. But there were people that initially agreed with us. We have this meeting and we toasted even after the meetings, wine and say, this is now a done deal, she can continue with the position and whatnot. But later on they turn and say, no, they were not consulted.
Yeah. So going forward, the party is heading to Congress. Less than 2 months to go. How do you see all this playing out on the floor of Congress?
In my statement, I said one thing, and I said, anybody in this party can belong to whatever faction or grouping in terms of the traditional authority is concerned. There is nothing wrong with that. But we must guard against bringing these infights within the Nudo party, because the traditional authority does not depend on votes.
Yeah.
No, it's generic. It's you are born in there, that's it. You are Herero, you are there within whatever that OTA is concerned. Nudo depends on votes. And you want to send your best people outside there to fight actually and to run the election campaign. Now, if you are doing this and selecting people based on the affiliation among the two groups, are you not risking the risk of perhaps leaving someone that is critical, that can add value to the campaign, and leave him outside because he's not part of your, of your groupings or whatever? So unless we change that trajectory, I really am afraid of the future of the party comes the November election.
Yeah. Before we get to that, and we'll get that when we come back from the commercial break. Would you say you and Honorable Munyangwe's leadership faced sabotage from those around you, and those sabotage in the neck also?
From day one, we there are things, Matthias, that as a leader that you cannot express openly and publicly. This is what you call in-house.
Yes.
Lining that you cannot hang outside there. When I speak also, you can see I'm hesitant into revealing certain things on camera, but which perhaps I can say off camera. But the truth of the matter is that since day one, there was just sabotage from within the party. And I'm afraid whoever takes over, you can have a PhD, you can be whoever with all the money in the world.
Yeah.
In the current setup that we are having, we can blame Kauandenge and Ushua Muinyangwe now, right? And say they have failed this party. Bring in another team. We will still say the same. Because the groundwork, the atmosphere within the party is not conducive for anybody to lead this party peacefully and be judged on what he or she has done instead of being judged on where he or she belongs.
Yeah. Well, Honorable Kauandenge, wait for a short commercial break and we'll be back for the second half of the show. To our viewers, wait for a quick break. Stay tuned.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
Welcome back from the short break. Honorable Kauandenge, you've mentioned that the party is currently not in a state for someone to assume power and run it soundly. What legacy would you say are you leaving behind? You and the leadership team that has been at the helm of the party for the past 4 or 5 years. What legacy are you guys leaving behind?
I think we are leaving one legacy that, at least despite the shortcomings, despite the inner sabotage that we have experienced for the past 5 years, we have managed to at least make the party visible. In as far as parliamentary debates are concerned, Nudo was forever all these years very quiet in that parliament. We have brought life to the parliamentary debates through the party called Nudo. We even went further despite the internal sabotage and made sure that we even increase our seats in the local authorities. In actual fact, going to the extent of also running and becoming mayors in some of those local authorities like Omaruru, like Hopapes, like Windhoek. It might seem like a small achievement, but it is an achievement. And we will also go out that for the past 4 years of our leadership, we had annual audited financial reports, something that was not there.
Yeah.
We can go out as a legacy to say we have even brought so many young people to the party that were not really the case. So those are some of the things that we really managed despite the internal sabotage that we experienced over the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. You paint this bleak picture of the party and the state in which it is. And it will be difficult for someone to understand that this is someone who's the Secretary General of the party speaking like this. So what does the future hold for the party then?
Again, back to what I have alluded to. We can still read Nudo and bring it back on the right trajectory. Nudo has traditional support, right? Support that will be there.
Yeah.
Because we have grown up with Nudo. But also we must take into account that the older generation are also dying out. You have to reinvent the party. You have to bring in new blood, these youngsters. Those are the people that you have to bring in for Nudo to continue to survive. But in order to do that, what young person can come up and sit in a party and be told or asked before you can proceed to that position to which factions do you belong to? So if we can just control that part, if for God's sake these court cases can come to an end between who's the rightful heir between the two paramount chiefs, and we go back to the business of Nudo, of running Nudo as a political party, then Nudo will survive. But in the current state where we are, I don't know, even if we go to Congress the way we are, you might win, Kauandenge won, but the section or the supporters of Matthias, who's not apparently from my faction, they were not going to vote for Nudo.
Yeah.
Now what now? So, and I'm being realistic. Yeah. And these are some of the things that really made me to say, I would rather be seen as a chicken out or a deserter, if that is the right words to be. But I cannot participate in a process that is not just and fair right from the word go. Because then I will not be able to question the outcome of that elections because I participated in it. So I would rather say no. Perhaps I might also be the reason why the party perhaps it's in the mess in which it is as an SG. Maybe I did not do my job properly. So if there is somebody else that can claim to say, Kauandenge, go out, let me come fix your mess. Oh, in all honesty, you can come and take over.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like we said earlier on, Otta has always been there. And your excuse now is that because there are two factions now, and the influence adversely impacts the operations of the party. So what was the party's role? Have you tried perhaps talking to the different factions as the party to say this is the impact that your fights are having on the party? Can you smoke the peace pipe? Or what has the party done to resolve this impasse?
It's very difficult because when you talk about the party, even the leadership consists of individuals, right?
Yeah.
The individuals is also their preferred candidates.
Yeah.
Although I'm president or SG, between the two, I might have my preferred
Yes.
chief. So it is a delicate balancing act between you as a leader that must remain neutral and try to mediate between the two factions, and then tomorrow perhaps to be seen that you are more aligned to this one or more aligned to this one, and those other take offense to that.
Yeah.
And that has been, unfortunately, the situation where the party leadership could not intervene and try to solve this issue because the leadership were seen to be aligned more to this or to that side.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with Congress coming up, of course, there's still process that needs to take place, the identification of the delegates and so on. With these factions, like you said, how will it work?
Well, that's
You
where,
are still in charge of that process.
that's where I have the difficult problem, but I will manage. We will manage. The Congress will take place as scheduled on the 13th, 12th, 13th of July. There is no postponement this time around. We will try our level best to bring delegates to the Congress without looking as to who do they support among the factions and whatever. And God help us, and praying that the Congress will go smoothly. Whoever emerge victorious, victorious, take over the reins of the party 4 months before the national election. If they feel like the likes of Kauandenge can still add value to the campaign, they can come and call and say, come help here or come help there. Yeah, and we hope for the best.
Yeah. Because I asked that because you indicated earlier on that your team has not really been the ones running the affairs of the party. It seems like there was an invisible hand. So how will you keep that invisible hand out of this process, this delicate process, before Congress?
We will still try. We will still try. Of course, as I have said, there was sabotage, but we had a certain measure of trying to control things here and there, and that is what we are going to do, because it's even if a person can criticize us how much as they want, at least this party is there and it exists, right? The party is not in shambles. It's there. Despite its shortcomings or the shortcomings of the leadership, the party is still intact. So it's upon the person to maybe criticize here, there, or whatever the person might want to do. But we will still try, as you are asking. But now, at least, there is a Congress organizing committee that was set up, at least that consists of the different, factions and interests.
Yeah.
So at least through that, we can, I hope, we'll be able to use this Congress organizing committee to make sure that the Congress take place as scheduled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just as we round up, would you say you leave the party in a better state compared to when you found it?
Oh, yes.
Why is that?
Oh, yes.
You just spoke of a party that's basically not fit for purpose as far as the next your successor is concerned.
No. The party is intact. The party is still a brand. And I want to quantify that before it's going to be taken out of proportions again. The party still has a role to play. The party still has a support base.
Yeah.
The party is still relevant to the Namibian political landscape and setup. The only hindrance is the things that I have alluded to that needs to be addressed before any other person takes over. Because if they are not addressed, the person who takes over will still be in the same problems that we have been having for the past 5 years. That's what I wanted to clarify before it is taken out of proportion that Kauandenge said the party is anyway dead, there is nothing there, so we must close shop and go home. No, that's not what I'm saying. So, but we leave a party that is somehow stable more than it was before, but the only hindrance is the things that I have alluded to that needs to be addressed.
Just lastly, there are claims that the reason why you abandoned the race is because you've seen that you don't have the support you thought you had. Any truth in that?
In a party?
Yes.
No. How do you quantify support, really? Because among the candidates that are going to run now, right?
Yeah.
Who can claim to have the majority support in Congress? No one. Right? So I cannot run because I'm afraid of the support that I'm not going to get in Congress. No, I could have gone all the way. Being defeated as a Democrat, it's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. So, but I strongly believe, even until today, the calls that I'm getting from members of the party that are concerned as to why am I running is testimony to the fact that I have some measure of support within the party.
Yeah.
And anybody that can dismiss Kauandenge, okay, fine. Kauandenge, he will get out of the stage and just become an onlooker, an ordinary member of the party. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lastly, one word, the name of the person you'll be supporting at Congress?
Not now. It's too early to pronounce myself. I still have to do my due diligence and see who can that person be.
Yeah.
But of course, the calls are coming now from those that claim I don't have support to say, will you support me? Now, why are they calling me to support them if I don't have support within the party?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Honorable Kauandenge, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you.
We wish you well going forward.
Thank you.
Well, to our viewers, that's it from the Evening Review team. See you again tomorrow, same time, same place.